For the first time in history, every person on Earth is experiencing collective trauma from a global pandemic, but we are not experiencing it equally. Some of us also have trauma from racism, marginalization, and poverty. It's been said you can't throw a rock in LA's affluent neighborhoods without hitting a therapist. White Angelenos can easily find a white therapist with some semblance of shared experience. In these neighborhoods, many residents can afford to pay $100 or more out of pocket per session. But in Los Angeles' communities of color, where Open Paths Counseling Center serves, it is a therapy desert. And in this desert, BIPOC folks learn to suck it up, push through, or be strong because historically, we haven't had another choice. When we seek therapy, our therapists rarely look like us or live in our neighborhoods. Many of them don't understand how systemic and structural oppression impacts the lives of people of color. The first 3 times I tried therapy, my therapist couldn't understand how parental incarceration, substance abuse, and occasional family violence were anything other than the personal failings of my family members, who are viewed either as victims or as villains. They weren't seen as complex individuals with unprocessed, complex trauma resulting in unhealthy coping mechanisms. My name is Sierra Smith, and I am the Executive Director of Open Paths Counseling Center, an oasis in Los Angeles' therapy desert. At Open Paths, we are decolonizing therapy by recruiting pre-licensed therapists who are reflective of the communities we serve and training them through a culturally affirmative lens. Our methods reduce the stigma of therapy by countering the narrative that therapy is for white people. At Open Paths, BIPOC clients aren't re-traumatized by well-meaning but ignorant therapists, which happens all too often. Last year, a 23-year-old Latina woman came to us for therapy. As a single mother and community college student, she was overwhelmed with the responsibilities of work, school, and parenting a toddler through a pandemic alone. Her therapist, also a woman of color, used the BIPOC-centric feminist theory training she learned at Open Paths to help her client explore gender norms and establish healthy expectations about motherhood. She also used EMDR, a trauma intervention she learned at Open Paths Counseling Center. Our client made amazing progress and was accepted to UCLA, where she moved into family housing with her child. So what does it take to decolonize therapy in Los Angeles? The down payment is $250,000, and every donation towards this goal helps. This amount will train 75 pre-licensed therapists through a culturally affirmative lens for 2 years. With your support, we can expand the oasis. And together, we can ensure that all Angelenos receive therapy that works for them during their times of need.